Welcome back, everybody.
And
Hang on
we're
the farm.
harvesting. Well, I'm harvesting. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm gonna grab the old baler boy.
You're gonna be.
I ain't never done.
You're gonna be so. Oh, you have never done it before?
No.
Yeah, you're gonna be caught up to me in no time.
Oh yeah, I figured that, but there's nothing really else to do right now because we can't fertilize anything else again. Everything's fertilized to its max, and
It does look like a pretty big straw swath, though.
yeah, this is actually I'm curious what it's gonna look like on the biggest of our fields because this is the first time we've had max level fertilization on that. Yeah, I'm curious what kind of yield we get.
You'll probably be filled up before that full swipe, right?
Yeah, I was, but I think you had some in here already.
Oh yeah, that's true. I did.
Oh, that's cool how it pops out the butt there. Let's give birth to a bale.
You gotta close it again.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah, otherwise it'll just sit there open and be like, nope, not gonna do it. So here's an interesting question for you.
Uh-huh.
Would you rather know how you are going to die or when you're going to die?
God, I hate this question. I hate this question. This question is the worst question. And I think I've answered it both ways before, because I feel like what this is. I think this has come from our podcast before, actually, is where I know this question from. What you have done here is a travesty.
Well, I know it doesn't turn enough, so I'm trying to. Then I'll
Yeah.
loop back and get it all. Maybe. We'll find out.
And I think what I finally decided was when is much less stress inducing. If I was forced to, one of these things was forced upon me, because honestly I don't think I want either one of these things in my life or death. But knowing when, I feel like is less stressful because you know exactly when it's going to happen. You don't know how it's going to happen, but when that moment's coming, you're like, well, here it comes. I guess let's see how it happens. But if you know how it happens, let's say the how was drowning. Now you live your life terrified. You won't even brush your fucking teeth because you might, whenever you swish out your mouth, that might be the moment that you drown.
I heard drowning's a peaceful way to go. I don't
Is it
get
really?
it. I don't get it. That's what people say. Apparently, your body comes over this like calm, washes over it. But I will tell you, I would hate to drown. That would be terrible.
I mean, who did they ask?
People who drown.
yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question. Who did they ask? What it was like. So what if you were told though next week?
Well, that sucks.
But
or maybe it's good.
Do you think that's like more stress inducing to know that it's so quick?
I mean, there's nothing you can do to change it, so you just have to accept it at that point, right?
I mean, that's true, but do you think you would live your life in a positive or negative way for the next week then?
I feel like you'd probably just be the most depressed person that there ever was at that point. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe, I guess it depends on the person, right? If you're already depressed and you're kind of wishing you were just dead, maybe it would be like a relief.
I mean, true. See, because I think about it, I think knowing when would be better if that when happened to be when I was like 90 years old.
See, I don't want to live that long.
I mean, that potentially could be true as well. But then think about this. Like, how terrible would it be if you were told, it is when you're like 90 years old and next week you end up getting in a car accident and get locked in syndrome.
Yeah.
And
that's real shit then,
yeah,
right?
And then you sit there, for knowing that this is the way you will be for the next, however many years it is until they said that was.
Well, so here's the thing. If they say that it's, whenever you're 90 or whatever, is that locked in stone? Like, so you get in a car wreck next week. can you no longer kill yourself? Or are you just like,
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with yes. It's gonna defy the concepts of the time travel theory and changing past and changing present and blah blah blah. This is like one of those things that it's written in stone. There's nothing you can do to change the time frame. But I think at the same time that would be so interesting to know, because even if it was when I was 50, I know for the next 15 years I could do anything and not die. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna be maimed miserably and live the rest of my life.
I lived.
But you would know that you weren't going to die, and you would potentially take, like, isn't that the movie Big Fish? Have you ever seen that movie?
I don't know if I have or not.
The guy who
sounds familiar.
He like fabricate. Was it Ewan McGregor in that movie? I don't even remember. He thought it was like the whole movie is like from the father's deathbed, essentially, when he's like an old man. And he's talking to his son, and his son's all mad at him because he thinks he's told him all these lies about his life, and all the time, and they turn out to be true. But one of the whole points of that was at the very beginning of the movie, some woman, mythical, like, not really a mythical woman, but she had a mythical power of being able to tell you. I think she actually told you how, but it was enough to give him the concept of when. So he ended up going into the army, and to get out early, he would take every dangerous mission he would volunteer for that would knock time off of the required time he was supposed to be there for, and because he knew he wasn't going to die on those missions.
Right. Yeah, man. I saw that movie, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. It was there. I was thinking, man, if you knew when, or if you knew how. Yeah, can you imagine if you were told, like, yeah, you're going to drown? You would be afraid of water for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think I would... I think the when, for me, would be a lot easier to cope with.
Unless the how was of old age.
But that's basically bullshit. No one dies of old age. Old age is not a thing that kills you. You don't just, I got that old age. Well, can I get old age at my age?
But it is, though.
Not really. There's something that happens that actually kills you. It may have become easier for your body to pick up whatever it was that killed you because you were old and your body wasn't working at maximum efficiency. But I mean, you as a nurse doctor know the old age is not a killer.
But as a nurse doctor, I do know that it is a killer. Like, that's
no one has ever actually died of old age, though.
You die because your body starts to fail.
Right,
and it fails because it's old.
But it could have failed whenever you were still young, too.
Like, that's possible. Yeah, it could fail when it's young. But when you're old and it fails, it's like... Some biologists, scientists believe that all cells are tagged with... Well, your cells are tagged with, like... Every time they replicate, like, they lose a little piece of themselves, and that there's only so many little pieces that they can lose, and that there is a feasible maximum limit to how old a person could ever get to, even if they were the healthiest person ever, because eventually the replication will stop, because there'll be no more of it to replicate with. Part of the DNA sequence, but I don't know all the details on the theory behind that, but...
Well, you're not a doctor yet.
Then not yet. Soon. What if you were told something like, you will die having, like, the biggest massive Playboy Mansion orgy in your life?
I don't know that I'd want to ever have an orgy, honestly. I would actually call bullshit on that one. I'd be like, that's not my thing.
And then one day,
I think it would have to be. I would have to be forced. Like I'd be basically being raped.
That's really. I don't feel like I have to be raped at all to be in an orgy.
I don't know, man. I have a hard enough time keeping track of one person.
Oh, I agree with that. I don't. If I were to ever have like a threesome or something, I would probably be the worst person in the world to those. Two, in my opinion, it'd be two ladies. To those two ladies,
I think it'd be 2 men.
They
Don't
would
lie.
be my big gay threesome. There's nothing wrong with that.
Is like a big Greek wedding? My big gay threesome.
Yes. And that I might agree with you in the fact that I'd probably have to be raped for that to happen, because I can't imagine myself ever wanting that. But I don't know, you never know. People's tastes change. Maybe I'll grow curious. And not even bi-curious,
and open up your
just straight up curious. I doubt it, but I can't say the possibility doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever have an orgy. I think I'll die orgyless.
Dude, it would be like the best 10 seconds of my life.
Right, exactly.
And then I'd go to sleep. Want a sandwich. Yeah. Then I'd probably freak out and think that I caught something. Because I guess that is an interesting question. People who have threesomes or something, they want to have, like, you still want to be safe with it, right? So if you were in that situation, would you wear a condom?
Well, you'd have to.
Do you switch it out?
Well, I'm assuming. Well, okay, good point. So, I guess for me, before there would ever be the possibility of that, like, I would want a current test.
So you just want to eliminate that whole possibility and have, like...
Right, I mean, you still wear a condom because you don't want anybody getting pregnant.
You'd be like, okay, ladies, I somehow seduced you into this bedroom. Now please place your paperwork on the table for
can I please
perusal.
See your papers? Papers, please.
And give me your driver's licenses so I can guarantee that you're actually of age.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that's I hate when I hear stories about people who've, like, lied about their age, and then, you know, somebody gets in trouble for sleeping with somebody who was 17 because they claimed they were, like, you know, 21 or something like that.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's kind of like, do you really?
It's entrapment.
I would think so, but at the same time, at that point, that person would end up being, you know, a quote-unquote minor, and therefore they are not able to make their own decisions, so you'd be the one that'd be in the wrong in that case.
I mean, I don't remember 16-year-olds looking like they were 35 years old whenever I was 16. And I swear something has happened where women look way older, and not in an attractive way, like, oh man, you look too old for me to date, but then you find out they're not even old enough to date.
Yeah, no, I get you. But I also find women who are in their, like, mid-30s who I would still mistake and be like, are you really 18?
Yeah, I guess that does exist too. Yeah.
Yeah, I just really want to know, like, if people do wear a condom during a threesome, do you swap? Or is it, oh, this is for my protection, you guys, you get to share whatever.
You're on your own.
Popping in and out of you?
Everybody for themselves.
Because I guess in the porn industry, aren't they supposed to be, like, you know, tested and safe, and you actually see some of them where the people are wearing condoms? I wonder if they are wearing them during those, like, threesome scenes. They don't really pay attention.
I feel like, yeah, in the porn industry, it's like, I imagine it's all regulated, right? Like,
I mean, I think in probably the big production studios it is, but, you know, now with sites like, you know, Pornhub, YouPorn, all that stuff, are all those regulated porn manufacturers?
I want to know how that shit works. I really do. I'm genuinely curious how those sites work, because I don't know how they verify people's age, for example. Like, there's tons of porn out there that's like 18-year-old virgin. It's like, how do you know they're 18?
That's true. And those, can't you upload your own videos? Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can. It's just like, it's like YouTube but for dicks. And so I don't understand how any of that works. Like, none of that. I don't know. I've not done any research. So I mean, maybe all that's just something one click away. But I've always wondered about all of that.
I also find those sites extremely confusing in their revenue model, because they're free, but then you watch those videos that are like, you know, to watch the full video, click on this link, and they take you to, like, their website, and they want you to buy.
Right, it takes you off of the porn site, right?
But whether it takes you off of the porn site or not, you literally had the best parts that I just watched. I don't need to watch.
I'm already done at this point.
I don't need to watch more. And now, do I want to, like, maybe I really got interested in the characters and want to now understand your backstory. Maybe you go purchase.
I'm here for the plot now.
Yeah, so why did they order pizza? I don't know. It wasn't in the version that I watched. Let's see what was happening. Were they throwing a party? Did the oven stop working? Did they forget to go to the store? Like, was there a power outage and therefore they couldn't cook their own food? Maybe I'm really intrigued by what's going on. I don't know. But yeah, like, how many people are signing up as paying members on these sites?
What does it give you?
I have no idea. Like, more
More?
like, I mean, it's not like I've ever gone to these sites and then been like, man, I wish there was more. I've seen every video on here.
Yeah, I don't know. And there's not really ads either, is there?
I don't think so. There's always ads for more videos from that studio. Like they always have their own ad at the beginning of the video.
Yeah, I don't know how porn sites work either. I don't know what their business model is. Maybe they're like charities.
I wonder if you could do, I don't know if they have this already, but like porn Netflix? I guess you wouldn't really need porn Netflix though, because you just Chromecast it to your TV and it'd be like the same thing, right? Full seasons of...
I can't imagine being a teenager in this day and age, because whenever I was a teenager, like, stealing my dad's Playboy was the thing to do. Like, having the internet, I mean, I remember, okay, so I guess I should take that back. I remember getting, like, with dial-up internet and going on, like, IRC chats and, like, finding, like, file sharing services and stuff.
And watching those low-res pictures first load with all, like, the naughty bits, like, blurred out, and you were wondering, like, how long is it going to take for this picture to finish downloading?
Right. I remember leaving for school and leaving porn videos downloaded that were only going to be, like, 12 seconds long, basically, because of how big they were, and it was over dial-up or whatever. And then,
how big they were? Was that the... is that what, oh, shit, was that what it was called? That was coming home. This was mail on mail.
Well, yeah, then coming home to realize it was like some shitty fucking video or something that you'd already downloaded and it just been labeled something different. Like, you're like, motherfucker, that was my one download for the day that took 6 hours.
Were you sitting at school all day going, can't wait till I get home and watch what I just downloaded?
Maybe.
Oh my god, it's just like, yeah, and so I remember it being like such a great thing when we got like cable TV. And part of the package got you, like, you know, Showtime and Cinemax or whatever for the first year. And, you know, the soft core porn on, you know, Showtime was something I looked forward to as a kid, you know, going to sleep, you know, wait for that part to come up. That was the thing, and you had to watch a lot of those parts of that I didn't care about seeing that you now have to go pay for on the other site. I didn't care about the backstory then. I just wanted the good stuff.
Right? God, I remember I snuck into Striptease with Demi Moore.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big disappointment. That was real bad.
Well, because that wasn't really... I mean, she...
Yeah, it was
it,
not... No,
but
right.
the movie was not about that. She just happened
exactly.
to be a stripper. I'm trying to remember the plot of that movie. Was she being kidnapped?
I don't remember the plot of that movie. The plot did not have much
Again, you didn't care about the backstory.
No.
It was...
I mean, I was in a theater, so it wasn't like I was going to be doing anything. But
Pee Wee Herman did it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm no Pee Wee Herman.
Which, now, that's a whole other thing that throws me off, too. Whoops. If you go to a... What did I just hit here? Hold on.
Well, that's why I don't... What you're about to say is the reason why I don't understand strip clubs. I do not understand them. I've never been to one, and I plan on dying never have gone to one, because I do not understand them, and
my wife would love to take you to one.
Oh, I know! Oh, God! That's the closest I've ever been to going to a strip club, and it was basically by force.
That was so funny. You're like, we do not want to go. Come on, just go. Just go.
It's like she wouldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it.
That was funny.
That was the best first meeting of someone I've ever had.
But you don't understand them because you're not allowed to do the things that you're there for?
I mean, you're there. It's like this is like they might as well call them all Blue Ball City, basically. Welcome down, everybody, come down to Blue Ball City.
I mean, well, think about it this way: I guess if you did go to pull a Pee Wee Herman and go to a porn theater and watch the movie, buy your ticket and watch the movie. I mean, not that the movie theater would probably care, but if they let you do whatever you wanted in there, I guess you'd only be in there for like 10 minutes. And you go home? Like, who's going to be like, oh, I'm done. Now let's watch the rest of this thing.
Yeah, let's see how this progresses.
Now my mind is clear. I can really engage with these guys.
Yeah, I don't understand those things. Yeah, the porn theaters. Like, what the fuck was he doing in there? Who goes to those things?
But then the question is, obviously, they existed and people went to them. That's why he got in trouble for going to one. But why would you then get in trouble for doing that at the... Isn't that what it would be for?
I guess, honestly, he got caught being Pee Wee Herman in a porn theater. That's where he fucked up.
You think that's really what it came down to? They were like...
I bet so.
What the hell is his
like,
name?
dude, you're... Oh, God, if you had not asked, I probably could have told you. But now it's gone.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But yeah, that's just so weird to me that's like, why have those things if the rule is you can't do anything in them? What's the point? But then that's your whole point about strip clubs. Though there's a lot of things that happen in strip clubs that are not supposed to happen in strip clubs.
Yeah, I've known a lot of people that go to strip clubs. Like, well, I'm not gonna name them, but
I've been to plenty.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I was gonna say exactly who had told me all about the strip clubs in their town and all the things that happen there and all the basically all the sex that's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I used to give strippers a ride to work. Yeah,
and buy a ride.
Well, strippers they were great. They were friends of mine's friends. Like I knew them, and then they decided they needed money and were stripping, and they were both really hot too. One of them was really dumb. I mean, like the stereotypical person who would be a stripper because she just was clueless as to life and was hopped up on drugs all the time. But she just had this smoking hot body. But she, they would call me all the time because they didn't have a car. Somehow, they made a shit ton of money at the strip clubs. So they would call me all the time and take them to work. And it would be like, and this is back when I was working at McDonald's. And every time I'd give them a ride somewhere, they'd flip me $20. And they'd be like, hey, can you come back and pick us up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Because, I was working at McDonald's, didn't have really much else going on. So I'm like, sure, I go pick them up. They'd flip me $20, and then they'd be like, so let's stop at the diner and get something to eat. And then they'd just buy my meals. And they used to beg me to come into the strip club with them. And just be like, oh, just come in with us. And I'm like, why would I go into the strip club with you? Oh, we'll get you the table at the front. We'll hang out with you all night. I'm like, I'm not going to a strip club by myself. Like, that's weird. We definitely got groups together and would go with, like, groups of friends, like female friends, male friends, this and that. But I was never going in one by myself. But, yeah, it was nice. I would get money from them all the time. And the greatest things would be when they would be like, oh, Jeff, can you take me to work a little bit early? I need to go get a new outfit. And that meant that I was going with them to be the one who got to watch them model the outfit and tell them if it was good or bad for the stage.
Wow. Was there sex included too?
No, not. There probably could have been, but I never asked.
Gotcha. Seems like a pretty sweet deal, though.
Yeah, for me it was at the time, especially since I, had a lowly paying job at the time, and every time we go to the diner, the strippers after work, their eyes are way bigger than their stomachs are, so they would order like everything off the menu and then eat like 2 bites of everything and then not want to throw it away. So I would take it all and stock my fridge with all these leftovers. But they were walking out of there with like over $1,000 a night.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I think there was more than stripping involved with that as well. I in fact know that there was more than stripping involved with that as well. They informed me.
Well, so was it just like hand jobs, blow jobs, sex? Like what is it all on the table?
So they never told me if they actually slept with anybody in the back room, but they definitely did hand jobs and blow jobs for the right amount of money, for the right person. It wasn't to everybody who offered them money. It was.
I wonder what that stuff costs.
I know one of them was charging $60 for a hand job.
God, I don't think I could get off with a $60 hand job. I just don't think I could. I think my dick would deny it.
I do think it's kind of funny that at like some of the strip clubs, lap dances themselves, like a lot of it's weird in Flint, where that's where I went to most of these strip clubs was in Flint, Michigan, so really high society over there. But some places were like $5 cover at the door for the best drink specials at any bar around. So you would even go there for the place to get the cheap beer. But some of them they do strip clubs at the table in front of everybody, or lap dances at the table. You buy lap dances for like $5 or $10 at the tables, or you can spend more money to get the lap dances in the back room. And I know the lap dances to get in the back room were at least $20. So think about that. If you're back there for a lap dance anyway, and you're paying $20, you pay $60 and you get satisfaction. I can see a lot of people going for that.
Right.
I never went in the back room of a strip club, though. I was afraid.
I feel like it would be gross. Like, be all gross.
You know, I will admit, I was afraid to do it then because I thought the same thing, and I thought it was just weird and something that, like, shouldn't be done. And now I'm like, man, I kind of missed out on that experience. Like, I kind of wish I had done it, at least.
Well, at least you could have the commentary we need for this video to tell us the story.
Commentary.
We don't know the story.
I know what they told me that they did back there with certain people, but like I said, I don't know how they made that choice either. If somebody was just like, "Hey, I'll give you $60 for this," were they like yes or no, or was it more of a if they found somebody they would do it for, they offered it to them? Like that, I don't know all the details of either.
Yeah,
I wish I still talked to these girls. I would ask them right now, be like, "Hey, back in your stripping days, when you were doing the things you shouldn't have been doing." I know the weirdest thing about it is one of the places that they worked at, because they worked at a couple. One of the places had, I guess the back room was like saloon doors on the private rooms, and there was a bouncer back there in case things got like rowdy or whatever. But also if there was a light in each room, they said, that would turn, I don't know what color it turned, but it would turn on if there was something that the bouncer was deeming inappropriate. And this was even against the strippers too, not against the people in there. Like if they didn't see the strippers' feet on the floor anymore, meaning they were fully sitting on somebody's lap, the light would come on because they had to have their feet on the floor at all times.
Huh.
Like very strange things. And by the way, they paid to strip.
Oh, you pay like how barbers
pay the
work.
Club a certain amount of money to get on stage and then get to keep whatever they make.
I didn't know that.
Yep. At least at these ones in Flint that these girls worked at.
That's pretty crazy. I guess it makes sense. I wondered, you know. Yeah, I can see that. Can
you imagine, though? What a lucrative business.
Oh, yeah.
To be a strip club owner, you're literally like, we supply beer, and that's pretty much it. And by the way, in Michigan, if you serve alcohol, you can only be topless. You can't be fully nude. So the only nude strip clubs were Deja Vu, and they didn't serve alcohol.
Well, that kind of sucks.
So, yeah, very strange. So they were always at these topless places. And, but can you imagine starting this bar? We'll serve beer to people. We make money off of the beer, and then people come pay us to get naked.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's pretty wild. It's a pretty good deal.
I wonder how it works.
We should start a strip club.
I wonder how it works in D.C. I've been to a couple in D.C. as well, and I was not nearly as impressed. The first one I went to at D.C., the girls, my nursing school girls for my birthday took me out to it, and I was really confused because I'd only been to the ones in Flint at that time, and literally there was 3 different mini stages, and by stage I mean it was like a 2-foot by 2-foot thing with a pole in the middle, and there was a girl on it, and you stood in a line to go up to not be able to touch them, to hold $1 out, and they would dance for about 10 seconds, and then you had to drop the $1, or the bouncer came over and tapped you on the shoulder and said, your time's done.
Wow, that's okay.
Yeah, it was weird, because in the Flint ones that I went to, you were allowed to roll the dollars up in your mouth, and you laid down on stage, and they would get the $1 out of your mouth by multiple different means.
Well, that's a very big contrast from
very
10
big
seconds.
Contrast. Luckily, I did not lay down on the stage when I went to the strip club.
They would have not been okay with that.
They would probably have not been okay with that. Yeah.
Having like a drunk.
Oh man, you're keeping all the bales over here. So many bales.
That's a lot of bales, isn't it?
That is a lot of bales.
I feel like it's more than we got last time, isn't it?
So this is a bigger field than the one. I think this is a bigger field. Was this the one we did? Or was it that other one over there? I don't remember, but I only got 15 out of the last one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I see 20 over here right now. I don't know if you have any on that side of the field at all.
No, I don't. I've been putting them all there so that we could, it'd be easy to pick them up, and also we could count them easily. Just to kind of see how many we got.
Yeah, so far there's 20.
Might get one more out of it. I mean, well, I'm dropping off 21 right now, but we might get one more after that.
It looks like only one strip on this other field has grown.
So there's really not male strip clubs. I mean, there are, but they're not as lucrative, right? They're not as big of a thing.
I don't know about that. There is a big one in DC called Secrets, and it's the gay strip club.
I didn't think about the gay people.
Well, it doesn't mean that it's known as the gay strip club, and it's male strippers, and I guess most of the models are supposed to, or the strippers are supposed to be gay guys, like modeling for other gay guys. But I'll tell you, every girl, including my wife that I've talked to that's ever been there, says that the strippers would come over, because a lot of girls go there for like the bachelorette parties and stuff. I think probably with the premise that they can it's a non-threatening environment because it's like gay and drag queen strip club type place.
Yeah.
And they can still have fun, but everyone who's gone in there says that one of the strippers has, in the middle of a lap dance, leaned over and been like, by the way, you know I'm not gay. Because they were actually just using that as a persona to get a job and then get in women's pants. Which is a pretty brilliant idea, actually, but... So, yes,
I mean, that idea you had, well, I guess it's not your idea, but what you said the other day about holding auditions for porn casting is... I never considered that either. It's like, hey, I'm having a porn casting. How much do you pay for a casting? Do you even pay them for casting?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Or do they pay you? Do you make them pay you? Like the headshot thing with
right. Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. It gets even better.
Be like Craigslist ad for $500. You can come and audition for my porn movie.
Right. Right. You could even have the audition tape after to use for in your portfolio.
Can you imagine if those videos just ended with the guy holding the camera, like the real camera, and being like, "Here is your tape. I forgot to put the film in this thing."
Yeah, man. Wow. I had not considered that you could even charge them. What
other things could you charge people for randomly that I never really thought about? There's probably so much stuff that I would assume that you'd either get paid for or do for free, and they would expect you to pay for it. Because I would also think
stuff is just
I would also think auditioning for any TV show would be free, at least. Not you have to pay them to audition. Like, the whole point of the audition is you're looking for the right person for the part that you're trying to do. So, but I guess I was wrong on that. People you should start auditioning people for Minecraft. Just be like, come on down. $1,000 gets you an audition. We may choose you, we may not. What a shady business practice that would be.
It really is. All that shit's just dirty and scammy. And grody.
Dirty, scammy, and grody?
Grody.
Oh, grody. I thought you like slurry. Slurry of scammy businesses. Are you individually selling that one bale?
I am. I was right here at it. I was like, I'll just drop this shit right in here.
And ka-ching!
That's fantastic.
I guess we gotta wait till this field finishes growing before we can do any more.
Wait. Oh wait, never mind. Okay, that did definitely sell. It says if you had excess straw hay, you can place them in here and get some money in return. But it almost is worded in a way like,
no,
we're keeping this for you.
No, I watched the money go up. That's why I said, ka-ching.
Yeah, no, I know, but like I said, I thought it was worded in a way like, I don't know. Yeah, you're selling it, but you're also storing it. I don't know.
Can we
It's
just
definitely-
go get it back and sell it somewhere else later?
Yeah,
Also.
sell it again. Sell it
No, he's
on
actually
again.
just charging you to, or you paid him to take your straw. I guess you kind of do that with rental units or something like that. Or not rental units, it's storage units.
God, that's a business that's amazing too.
Well, it's only
Parking and
amazing,
storage.
It's only amazing in certain areas. Like probably maybe where you live, it's lucrative. I can't imagine owning a business like that in DC because you just wouldn't make enough money to cover your lease on the land.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, I mean, hell, Trump's even talking about tearing down monuments because we're out of space in DC to make more space for condos.
Oh, that guy's a fucking idiot.
But you know what? I don't know. There's so many condos going up in DC. It's crazy. I'm afraid my house value is going to go down because there's going to be so many places to live. But at the same time, it's not slowing down anytime soon.
There's only so much land. That's the problem.
Yep, and you could live. Everybody would say everybody can live farther away. It's like sure you can, except for you don't want to drive in this traffic.
God, no one wants to drive in that traffic.
I know you want to drive in it all the time.
Yeah, that is literally my hell. That is what hell looks like in my worldview.
It's one of those things. It's like it makes me a better driver for being here because you have to be. I actually hated. I was afraid of driving in DC when I first moved here, and I felt that I was a pretty good driver in very rough conditions where I was from, and this made me a way better driver because you have to deal with so much craziness.
I just would walk everywhere.
Well, that's actually a big. You can in DC. You can walk. You can bike. You can take the metro. You know, it's a lot of people don't have cars that live here actually.
Well, that's the other thing too. Cities like that always destroy a car. Like everyone's dinging everybody. I don't know. Like I feel like there's more wrecks in cities than there are where I live. More fender benders. You know what I mean?
Do you think there's more fender benders per capita, or just more in a gross number?
Yeah. Both.
Well,
'Cause-
I'm sure there's more in a gross number. I'm just not 100% sure related to per capita. I get your reasoning. There's more cars and more opportunity to hit something.
In a condensed space, like I have, yeah, I think so. I think, yes, I do think there's more fender benders per capita. My final answer. I don't have any, data on this, but that's my final answer.
And the thing, this episode started with wanting to know how or when you die.
And we're out of time too, so this is how this episode dies. Hi, everyone.
We know when it's gonna die. Right now.
Right now.
I also know how though. It's right when I hit this button.
Yeah.
See ya.